Gemini, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Gemini collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My God, Spirit Team, talk to me. What do we got for Gemini here in late September? We're moving into Libra season, a beautiful time of year. Let's see what we got. And what energies, messages, insights can we share with our friends? And we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into. So let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for the beautiful Geminis. Please and thank you. Let's get this card going. What is happening? There we go. Okay. I haven't seen this card come out in quite a long time, my friends. You see these individuals, these people, there's all these pictures. It just feels like a lot of different energies. And sometimes it can be very complex. And I will tell you this, I haven't seen this for any zodiac sign in months. So this is going to be interesting to really look through. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end. So you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So again, I know I already pointed it out, but in this picture you see that man, you see that woman. There's various different pictures. There's even people walking in the background. So people everywhere. Now, I know Gemini is usually a very social sign, but even this feels like a lot. Now, for a portion of you, maybe there's certain situations involving groups of people, like work and schooling, you name it. There's just like a lot of different energies. Now, if we're not talking about big groups of people, when I see this card, I just think of energy in general. So just know in this time, there could be various different energies dragging your attention in different places, affecting you in different ways. So it's very important for you to protect your energy when I see something like this on the front end. Now, again, lots of people are showing up here, so I'm interested to see how that presents in the tarot reading itself. But this can be very good. Another little side note, I do link this card to social media sometimes. So for a portion of you, whether it's like business or you're cutting back on your social media time or however you might want to do it, there could be some sort of importance around social media usage. So we're just going to leave it at that for now. Let's get into tarot. And I always say the first card here doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's shuffle it up one time. See what we got for the beautiful Geminis. And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Picking up a really nice energy for you last week. So hopefully that bleeds over for a couple weeks. The reading was titled Big Win Incoming. Now, I always say wins come in all different shapes and sizes. Sometimes it could be a monetary one. Sometimes it could be an emotional one. You name it. So like there seemed to be a good energy that was starting to sweep towards the Gemini. So hopefully you claim that. But let's see what shows up for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take that how it hits for you, because it could be your energy, it could be someone else's, right? You know how tarot goes. Let's get it going. 3 cards here to start you off. What do we have for Gemini, please? 3 cards. Thank you. Wheel of Fortune. Whoa. Okay, powerful karmic energy, beautiful, expansive energy. So we're kind of picking up where we left off last week. Now that could be good. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. We're going to stay cautiously optimistic, but you know me, I love that Wheel of Fortune. Let's get a couple more here. I mean, it can be a very sudden type of energy as well. We got the 4 of Pentacles. Could be a little roadblock there, right there in the center. We're not going to freak out about it. I mean, for some of you, that could be representing a large purchase of some kind. Let's get one more. Thank you. 6 of Cups. Okay, so we have this little tie to the past that could also represent karmic energy. So we do have this little mixture of things happening here, Gemini. I mean, I like that you have elemental differences, and I like how they play with each other here. But let's go through. I'll give you the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first look, first glance, again, a nice mixture. We have a strong Jupiter energy with the major arcana. We have some earth, we have some water. Now, I always say when I see earth and water together, that's usually very prosperous. That represents a lot of potential, a lot of blessings. especially like with the wheel. There are also two karmic energies taking up the outside. So whether we're looking at the past or the future or cycles, you name it, it could be various different things. So let's go through piece by piece and really start to build this out. Because again, like that Oracle card, I feel like there's a lot of different energies and they could be playing against you in different ways. But position number one, we have the Wheel of Fortune. Now, I already mentioned a few different things about it. It's one of my favorite cards. I link it to Sagittarius, sometimes Pisces, just because it's Jupiter energy and those planets have rulership with Jupiter. Very expansive, extremely lucky. Out of all the cards in the tarot deck, this is my four-leaf clover. So for some of you, luck might be switching to your side. You might have a lucky break of some kind. You might want to play the lotto or a few scratch-offs when this card shows up. When this card is here, I think of things expanding in beautiful ways. Now, I know a lot of Geminis out there could be focused on various different things, but this is lovely. This is really good. So I really want to clarify it and see what it says. Another thing with the wheel, though, aside from the beautiful, good luck, win-based type of vibe, this wheel is always moving. It's always turning, and it moves quickly. So it is a very sudden, fast-moving, surprising type of energy. So we'll want to see like what way this wheel is turning. It could represent karmic cycles that we've lived through, whether things from the past or things re-emerging, especially with this vibe we have here on the back end. So for some of you, you might be experiencing things that you've experienced similar things to before. So we'll have to see what's up with this. And yeah, the only drawback to the Wheel of Fortune I see is the fact that it moves so quickly. I mean, but yeah, we could be looking at karmic energy for sure. So moving to the center, we get a little different flavor starting to show up. We have the Four of Pentacles, and you see that picture there, that dude, he's holding onto that pentacle. He has them clasped tight. Now, if we're talking financially, this could be a good thing. When I see this, and I'll give you the positives first, this Four of Pentacles talking about material is someone that could be saving up. This is somebody that could be saving up to make a large purchase, or somebody that's just checking their budget. So maybe Spirit wants you to like look over the finances, look over the budget a little bit, like crunch the numbers and all that type of stuff. I generally see this as a neutral card, though. It's not in motion. It's not really moving. Whereas this one on the front, it's all about movement. This one is pretty planted. Now, there are some challenges attached to this card. It can represent problems. It can represent situations, little roadblocks. This could be kind of a retracted type of energy, whereas this one's expansive. This one's retracted. So it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Or it's like, oh, things were going good. Now we have a bit of a situation on our hands. Again, it doesn't have to be terrible. Now, for a portion of you, there could be something from the past that you're still holding on to, or there could be somebody that you're connected to that might be a little possessive. This could also represent jealousy sometimes as well. Notice that it's not letting go of something. So we really, really want to clarify this to see like, okay, is this a stabilizing force or is this an issue? Is this a problem? And we will see. Now, moving to the very back end, and I find it extra interesting that in the front end, we had that card with all the people. We have the Six of Cups. Okay. Now, this is a card that can represent the past. It can represent history. It can represent people that we have a ton of history with, whether it's people we grew up with or people we've known for many years. This card could also represent soul ties. It could represent things that we've lived through, experiences. But again, this is another card that I link to people that we are connected to, because notice they're sharing that cup. So there is some sort of strong bond here. So when I see like this 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and then we have this card of people, I've been picking up this little undertone ever since the beginning that like you might be very magnetic in this time. Okay, so don't be surprised if you hear from people you haven't heard from in quite a while when this card shows up, or whether it's situations that might return or individuals. Like I just feel like a magnetism this week for the Gemini collective, which can be very good depending on what you're manifesting. So we're absolutely going to have to look into this further. Now, when we get to the challenging part of the Six of Cups, especially next to the Four of Pentacles, it could be a situation or something that you've dealt with that for some reason it's lingering. Not saying you're purposely holding on to it, but there's something about the energy where it's like sticking around, it's lingering, it's something that's not fully resolved. Think unfinished business. So I want to dive deeper on all this, Gemini. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we have for my Gemini friends? Please. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Wheel of Fortune. Oh, and yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Gemini, you could drop it right in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Wheel of Fortune. What is it about? What is happening here? There's the wheel. Thank you. Okay. So for a lot of you, this could really present itself in a few different ways. Something you may have been manifesting or wanting for quite a long time, like your patience could be rewarded here. And that's just how this feels to me. I feel like there's something being rewarded. Okay, so whether it's your efforts or whether it's something you've been creating or manifesting, when I see Temperance with the wheel, these are both highly universal spiritual types of energies as well. And this is a card of patience and virtue. So when I see it underneath the wheel, like this does feel like a blessing to me when I see it here in the front. Now, for some of you, you might be going through tough situations for all I know, right? You're all going through different things. So there might be something you're going through where currently it might be a blessing in disguise, whether you want to hear that or whether you don't. But the big thing I'm picking up here with the wheel and then the Temperance card, it's like, all right, well, you are about to be rewarded, or the things you've done or the patience you've put out. It's like, okay, now you're going to get your return from this, if that makes sense. Now, Temperance is connected to Sagittarius energy. Archangel Michael is on here. It's very protective and it is tied into the universe. So we do still have these karmic undertones in the mix, but I do feel for a lot of you something you've either been manifesting or working towards could come in this time. So again, we're picking up this win-based, victory-based type of energy, which could be fantastic. I feel like, to me, it's something where the universe has it in its plans. Okay, like something that it's like part of the karmic plan, if that makes sense. So just take that however it hits. I mean, there might be some interesting events happening in the coming days and weeks. Let's keep moving forward. Let's see what that Four of Pentacles has to say. Why is the Four of Pentacles here? Because again, this first part feels really good to me. It feels good. It feels smooth, the energy. But I want to see what that Four of Pentacles is saying. So why is that 4 in the mix? Okay, thank you. Yeah, makes sense. So here's that little roadblock, that speed bump, where it's like on the front end, like, yeah, the energy's moving, the energy's going, everything seems like it's doing fine, everything seemed like it's doing okay. Now, for a lot of you, if you are going through certain things and tough situations, whatever it might be, when I see the Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands in reverse, there's not much talking happening here. So there could be individuals where it's like you might not be in communication for the time being, or to me it just feels like, okay, we're going, we're flowing, we're stopped. It's like full go, full stop. So for some of you, it could be a sudden stoppage of some kind. And I don't want to call it an ending. I'm not going to refer to this as an ending because to me, it just feels like a bump in the road with the way the energy is flowing because it's so smooth here at the end. Then we have this bump where it's like, okay, that's difficult to deal with. I want to see how it all plays out. But the Eight of Wands in the upright is usually fantastic. It's moving fast. There's a lot of talk. There's a lot of chit chat. And it's a card of action. In reverse, it's like either stopping fully or it's going in reverse. Okay, so just know there might be a few different setbacks or problems you might be dealing with in this time. Okay, or whether it's something that you're still resolving. It all really depends. But again, to me, it doesn't feel like it's an ending. To me, it just feels like a bump in the road. So let's keep moving. Again, I do feel like it's something that should be taken serious, whether it is a situation or a problem. It should be taken serious, but I don't feel like it's the be-all, end-all, if that makes sense. Let's move in on that Six of Cups, then we'll do a quick little recap. This could even just be a delay. This could even just be like a delay of some sort. So let's go in on that 6, and we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the 6 of Cups here for my Geminis, please? So the 6 of Cups here. Being very, very specific. Thank you. Okay, King of Swords in the upright. Okay, so this is presenting itself in a couple of different ways to me, and I do feel like this does link to exactly what I saw here in the front end when we had all these individuals, all these people. Now, the King of Swords, not gender specific, that is one of the Gemini cards, so it could be representing you. So I do feel in this time there are various different things, and these could be karmic returns of different kinds. So whether these are situations that you have to revisit, whether these are individuals that you have a karmic tie with, these two split ends are pretty insistent in the energy here. So when I see a card of your past and your connections, to me, it's there's either one very specific individual's energy that is moving towards you, even if it's delayed, Or again, there's this karmic return based type of energy where it's either something that you've lived through or something that you already have history with. There's a familiarity here. There's something that you could be very familiar with that is going to return or revisit. And again, I do feel like it is somewhat connected to the karmic plan, the way the energy is connected. Okay, now when we're talking about karma and karmic things, that could be a very complex subject, right? Like a lot of times people think, all right, well, karma is what you put out, you get in return. And that is absolutely true. But it also deals with the life's journey. It also deals with a various list of lessons that we are learning and still learning. That's why we're here, right? That's what we're doing here. But there is one that you might have to revisit in the very near future. It does feel like a karmic return. So let's go through and do a quick recap here, Gemini. Interesting energy for the most part. I like it, aside from this speed bump in the middle. But position number 1, we have the Wheel of Fortune, beautiful, expansive energy, with the Archangel Michael, the Temperance card. I do feel like for some of you, your patience will be rewarded, or you will be rewarded in one way or another here. Like, to me, it does feel written, if that makes sense. So I feel like that's extremely claimable, blessing type of energy. In the center, this is where we have the little roadblock. We have the Four of Pentacles with the Eight of Wands in reverse. So whether this is like something that was a sudden stoppage or a roadblock, I don't feel like it's a final result. To me, it feels like a bump in the road, which is okay. But it still should be taken seriously for one reason or another. And yeah, for some of you, there might be someone you're not really speaking with right now. On the back end, we have the Six of Cups with the King of Swords in the upright. Yeah, this is some sort of karmic return of some sort, whether it is a situation or an individual. There is still something that needs to be learned or processed when I see this type of energy. So yeah, please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows for you. So let's get a good shuffle here. What's in the shadows for Gemini, please? Guides and spirit team, what's going on? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this shadow card going. Thank you. Nice and quick. Okay, Three of Pentacles. So for some of you with career on the mind or career situations on the mind, this could easily be representing it. But when I see the Three of Pentacles, I also think of our group, or the people around us, the people we associate with. So if you've been in hermit mode for a little while, you're going to be a little more popular than you normally are, especially when we started a reading with multiple people. We have people showing up within your spread. Now, even here in the shadows, Three of Pentacles is a group of a card of groups. So it makes total sense to me. Now, this is also a card of teamwork. So for some of you, maybe there is something you need a little assistance with or you want some help with when this card is here. Don't be surprised if in the near future someone asks for your assistance. That could very well be possible whenever I see this card. But the fact that it is showing up here within the shadows, it's just something to have on your radar here. Okay, we are either looking at your group of acquaintances or something that could be concerning work and working together with others. But again, I feel that magnetism, so I feel like you're going to have a spike in your popularity. So Gemini, that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.